The January 13th regular meeting of the Jersey Shore School Board comes to order. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Becker.
Here.
Mr. Burgard.
Here.
Mrs. Dobler.
Here.
Mrs. Grant.
Here.
Mr. Kinley.
Here.
Mrs. Petrosky.
Here.
Mrs. Stemler.
Here.
Mrs. Thomas.
Here.
Mr. Allen.
Here.
All 9 members present.
And pledge of allegiance.
Mr. Keene, are you or?
I'll introduce them.
All right, go ahead. We have some folks here from the high school.
Very good. Good evening, board, and congratulations on the new positions. I would like to introduce two very special young leaders for Jersey Shore High School. Come on up, ladies. They are part of our youth development task force, and they're pretty much taking like Cumberland County controlling it all. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and then start the pledge.
Hi, my name is Emma Silvas. I'm the secretary of the Youth Development Task Force. I'm a senior.
And I'm Olivia, and I'm a sophomore. I just joined this year.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, ladies, if you can come up here. Emma? Certificate and flag pin for you.
Thank you.
There you go. Olivia, I have not seen you in a long time.
It's
Good
been a
to see
while.
you again.
Good to see you.
There you go, kiddo.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. You will actually see some of them. Are they going to be with you in the next board meeting?
Some of them, yeah. Emma probably will.
You will see some of our students from the Youth Development Task Force, the Key Club, at the next board meeting as they make a presentation regarding an event that was hosted at Hughesville School District. Was it Hughesville or Muncie last year?
It was at Hughesville, East Lycoming.
East Lycoming School District last year that Jersey Shore is going to be hosting this year. You're going to hear more about that at the next meeting.
Go to presentations, communication.
There's a couple of things here. Just need to inform everyone that I heard from the gentleman that was going to be tearing down the pavilion behind Salisbury and requirements we had established for him. He's not able to do that, so that pavilion will not be torn down by him, so we'll have to talk about that as part of the capital projects at a later date, what we're going to do with the pavilion behind Salisbury. The other thing I want to let everyone know is that the Jersey Shore Area Middle School is doing the Schoolhouse Rock Live, and that is on January 16th and 17th at the middle school, and those tickets are available at the middle school as well. So we hope to see a big crowd there for that. So. Oh, we do have one more thing, sorry. Employee of the Month. Now, she was unable to come tonight, but the Employee of the Month for November was our very own Sharon Cope from here in the administration building. For those of you that don't know Sharon, she works with our technology department, and she is probably the person that if you call the technology department, she's probably the first person you talk to. She is a vital part of that. She is much more than, I know she's listed as our technology secretary. She is much more than that due to the skill set that she has. And she is very deserving of this award, and I will make sure that she gets it tomorrow morning in our admin meeting that's here in the here at the administration building. So, but I did want everyone to know that Sharon Koch is our November Employee of the Month, and we congratulate her for that. And that reminds me that I need you to sign this before tomorrow.
Okay, President's report. Just report that I was appointed to the PSBA Charter School Task Force, and we had our first conference call on the 17th of December. And the task force is comprised of superintendents, board members from across the state, along with PSBA leadership, and the objective is to have a final report on recommendations to PSBA governing board by June 30th, 2020. I also attended the State Board of Education meeting last week in Harrisburg, and have been invited to participate in a PSBA board leadership panel in Mechanicsburg this Wednesday. Student rep report.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Intermediate unit report.
I did meet this morning with the executive director and the business manager down at the IU. And so my first meeting will be this Wednesday. The next meeting I should have a report.
Thank you. And Superintendent's report.
We have a few things. We're going to start off with the Heart and Soul program, which Erin Bonsall is here to let you know what she is proposing there. She does have a presentation, so those of us in the front here may have to either turn sharply or move.
Well, hello, my name is Erin Bonsall. I'm a 6th grade learning support teacher at the middle school. And I'm here tonight because I want to propose this Heart and Soul program. It's like the Girls on the Run program that was offered at JSASD. But this is triggered more towards 6th through 8th grades. So before I start, I kind of want to run through my motivation and my reasons behind this whole proposal. This year, our administrators have challenged us to find our passions, not just faculty, but staff as well. And they want us to share these passions and make meaningful connections. And so through our Come Alive period at the middle school, as well as the Innovative Friday, this was kind of my way stepping outside of the classroom walls and trying to make an impact on our school community. So some benefits of the Girls on the Run program, as well as the Heart and Soul program. This teaches a wide range of life skills. It teaches girls and it motivates them to make decisions on their own, whether it's their mental or physical, as well as learn about themselves and set goals. And they're also solving problems that they encounter every day. The other thing is it incorporates physical activity. But the one thing that I really like about the program is that it doesn't discriminate on their fitness level by any means. It pretty much works for anybody, so you can either run or walk. Also, the one project that I really like about it is that there is a community impact project. And as a team, we will pick a nonprofit organization from our local community, and we will plan and execute as a team ways that we can help that organization, and it's tied directly to our community. So about this program, it's 10 weeks. It runs this spring from March until the beginning of May. And at the end in May, it is celebrated in Lewisburg with a 5K, and it's non-competitive, so it's just kind of like you finish, and it's a big accomplishment for many girls. It requires 2 after-school practices a week, which are roughly 75 to 90 minutes long, and there are lessons that are scripted that go with this, as well as the physical activity that is encountered afterwards. The participant to coach ratio is 8-to-1, and the teams are led by volunteers, which are our Jersey Shore faculty, and hopefully we can get to the point where we can involve more community members. My biggest question was the cost. And I know that always is a big discussion that comes up when it comes to this kind of stuff. But there is a cost for the participants that their parents need to pay. However, there has never been anybody who's been turned away because of a financial restriction by any means. So if they cannot afford it, there are scholarships and there are payment plans that the girls can apply for. So the school's responsibility would pretty much be to provide us a facility. So we would need an outdoor space, and we would also need an indoor space for inclement weather and for our lessons. We also need to have an accommodated regular practice schedule, which after talking with our administrators, we decided Mondays and Wednesdays would be the best. And they would run roughly from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. And then you would also need a site liaison, which would be myself, and I would work directly with Girls on the Run and the director that works locally with us. So I called the Girls on the Run director, and I had a lot of questions, as I'm sure you do too. I just said, well, what materials would I need? And they provide everything. They provide materials, they provide a free t-shirt, a water bottle, an entry to the 5K. They also provide all of our registration materials that you would need and the curriculum. The other thing is they provide all coaches trainings, and that is of free cost. They do it all. They also reimburse all the CPR certifications if you would need to do that. The other thing I thought was really cool is they provide me with a gift card, and that I can purchase a healthy snack for the girls to provide them after school before we start running and exerting energy. And lastly, they will support financially those families that cannot pay for them, and they also provide appropriate footwear for anybody who needs that as well, which they're partnered with Adidas, so they're quality shoes. I thought was really cool. So locally, this started in 2010, and it serves over 700 girls annually. After the girls had participated in Girls on the Run, 97% of the participants felt more confident when they were using skills to problem solve. And girls who were least active improved their physical activity by at least 40%. 85% of the girls stated that they boosted their self-esteem and their character development, and 40% of the girls received some kind of financial assistance each season. Did you guys have any questions?
I just have one. The Girls on the Run, the foundation itself, they provide a lot of benefits to the kids here. Are they state funded, federally funded, or how do they make their money to do that?
I am not sure the answer to that question. I do know that the lead, I can contact Jill Drurio, who is the director, and ask her how they're funded.
I'm just curious, they have to get their money from someplace, how
Right,
they are
and
funded at all.
I would assume donations, but it's a really great program. I know they did it at JSASD this past fall, and I do know of a lot of faculty members who have had their own daughters participate in other school districts.
Because the participants in Jersey Shore are not paying anything to this organization, right? So.
Nope,
okay.
unless, there's an entry fee, I think it's $135, but like I said, no girl has ever been turned away due to financial restrictions. So they offer scholarships and they offer payment plans.
Online it says that the Girls on the Run's a nonprofit, so whatever they get through the payments be part of it. Must be what funds it. Plus, she's right. If they're have corporate sponsors like Adidas and places like that, that's probably how that works. But they are listed as a nonprofit.
That's my thought. Okay.
To go along with this, which I did not have Jody come tonight. That wasn't supposed to be listed as a presentation, but informational. But it's related to this. Mrs. Wolfslagel, Jody Wolfslagel, is planning on doing this at JSC again as well. But if I would have had her come present, it would have looked almost the same as what you're seeing now. So
She may have shared her presentation a little bit.
So rather than have them both say the same thing, I just need to inform you that on top of this, what this would allow is elementary and middle school girls to now have the opportunity, where last year it was just elementary.
Right, and it's different content, obviously, because it's a different age level, different developmental things are going on. So, like I said, it's an evidence-based curriculum that you use, but it's the same concept, just different content is being
When does
taught.
this occur?
It would start the week of March 2nd.
What we can do is, what we can ask Erin and Jody to do is maybe towards the end of the school year, let us know, have them come back and report how they felt it went, how many girls we had involved, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was talking to the director and she had said that JSC actually had to turn girls away. There were so many that wanted to join.
Only because we didn't have enough volunteers, is that why?
I'm not sure. Currently, and I publicized this at a faculty meeting, we would have 5 total coaches that could be committed to this, which I think would be great. That's 40 girls. So. we'll
Is
see.
it $125 a person?
Right, but like I said, I mean, they're really understanding. They offer scholarships and payment plans. I mean,
Any other questions for Erin?
Oh.
Thank you, Erin. The next person is Luann. So Luann Gasparin is here to talk about the simulator donation.
Good evening. Luann Gasparin, I'm from the Jersey Shore Ed Foundation. I have handouts for you, they're all stapled together in packets. At the foundation, we have a number of different projects that we like to provide the district with, okay? So this is one that we have been saving for like 2 years. We were fortunate, did I do that right? Nope, okay. We were fortunate enough to start receiving EITC funds last year. EITC stands for, brain bird.
Earned income tax credit.
Educational improvement
Yeah, that's what's
tax credit. And these are funds that businesses donate to nonprofits in lieu of paying a certain amount of taxes. There's only a certain amount of dollars that the government allocates to this program, okay? And so we, as a foundation, must spend at least 15% of what we get every year. So last year we spent the 15% and we banked the other 80%. Thinking that we would get as much this year and therefore we would then go ahead and start purchasing this project. Our mission at the foundation is to engage partners to enrich and extend the curriculum here in the Jersey Shore schools. We offer teacher mini grants every year. Generally, we set aside approximately $10,000 for 5 $2,000 mini grants. A few years ago, one of our high school teachers wrote a grant for a simulator, which is slightly more than $2,000. But what we did is I started looking for other ways to fund it. And then this past year, last year in 2018, we were fortunate enough to get the EITC funds, and this year we got as much, if not more. So we now have the money to purchase this simulator. This simulator would be housed in the building maintenance program. It would offer our students another job skill. What I gave you is an actual quote from the gentleman that I'm working with through CAT for this particular simulator. That's what it's going to look like, minus the one platform. So he has given us 3 screens. It is computer generated. It is similar to other educational technology things that we do, where it tracks the kid when they get on it. They have certain skills that they have to meet, and it's progressive. So if they can't park it, then they're not going to be able to dig with it, if you know what I'm saying here. It is an actual application. The controls are not very similar, if not actual, to a cat excavator. Yes, it's expensive. We also get training. Our instructor, Keith Rager, would be the one that would be housed in his room. He would be the one to get actual training on it. And what happens with the kid is they hopefully will be able to manipulate at least the controls according to what they see on the screen. I mean, it's actually a flight simulator, so to speak. The only difference between this, okay, is, and what the actual thing is about $30,000. but that is the platform that it sits on. So it's modular. When it's shipped, it's modular. The one part that we are not getting is the platform itself, so that if they bump the bucket too hard, then the whole thing shakes. Right now, if they bump the bucket too hard, they're gonna get a flash on the screen that says, oops, go back and try this again. Now, we have an option to purchase that platform at a later date and add it into it. So this thing can be added on to, with various parts, programs, as well as other simulators. So we don't even have to go with an excavator all the time. Should we get enough funds, we can go ahead and put on a bulldozer or front end loader or, other aspects of that. Okay, there's some of the results, and you have this, I believe, in one of your pages, is what they can do. There is an entire curriculum that goes with it. There's the convertible controls, and it does say you can change from one machine model to another. It's on the same frame. It has booklet of training, it has semi-campus training methods, all that kind of stuff. Cost, with a 5-year extended warranty, is $42,311.59 according to the quote. It is in modules, it is shipped. Questions that we had asked were, how do we get repairs done if something should go awry? And they said everything's modular, so they can replace the modules. The gentleman that I'm working with here said they have not ever had to come out to a site and redo anything in the 5 years he's been working, except for once. So, to me, that's a pretty good record. Setup is included, has a 2-day training on site. Okay, so, there's some of the particulars. We do have the money in the foundation to pay for that. We have set it aside. Okay, we would have to fill out, I would imagine, a purchase order and whatnot, and then we can purchase it, have it shipped, and have them trained. I'd like to try it myself. Hopefully I won't break it. What kind of benefits do we have? We will have, it will be of no cost to the board. The foundation will pay for the purchase. The students themselves, according to Heath, will gain certain certifications through the use of the simulator. It also enhances job skills, job-ready skills and whatnot. And he was in touch, Heath was in touch with the gentleman over at the landfill. And he accepted more or less a challenge to say that once our kids get the certificate, that he may bring them over to the landfill and put them on the actual piece of equipment to test them out, which I think would be a really nice collaboration, between the schools and the business. So we're seeking permission to purchase and donate this piece of equipment to the district. We also have a couple additional projects on. Mr. Allen is your representative on the foundation board. Please let him know if you have any suggestions for projects or whatever. We have been approached by the music department to look for grants to purchase guitars for the high school music program. We would like to, upcoming events is the Raise the Region fundraiser in March, and also we're looking to diversify our board with the foundation. We'd like to find some more community members, business individuals and whatnot. If you're interested, please email me or email the foundation. Do you have any questions for me? Yes?
The platform.
Yes.
Do you know about how much that would be?
It's about 30,000.
That's 30,000.
Roughly.
But again,
It's, when you think about it, in a flight simulator, I don't know if you've ever been in one. I have, and what you do, you have this whole board, and it's like surround sound. And so as you're in this simulator, it looks like, the one I was in was at Disney, believe it or not, and we were flying a machine, and we were banking, and so the whole thing tilts, and if you hit the side of the tongue or the side of the wall, it bumps. If you go through some water, you got sprayed in the face, you know, that kind of stuff. There's a platform that sits on hydraulics, and it's perfectly timed to what you see on the screen. So, it's a little interesting to say, you have to kind of remind yourself all the time, this is fake, you know, this isn't the real thing. So, it would, to me, I would start saving. Now I'm going to propose that to the board, that we start saving for that platform next. Because I think that would greatly enhance that entire experience for the kids.
Okay, once this is purchased, how much is left in the?
In the EITC funds, we do have a couple other things that we need to purchase. We have, what, $61,000 in there?
That sounds about right.
Something like that.
How much did you get, like, how much did you get this year?
41,000.
Yeah, so they're getting money on a yearly basis.
41,000.
How many kids would be involved here?
All of the students in Keith Rager's classes, plus whatever other class, you know, CTE may go ahead and decide to utilize. This particular excavator simulator normally is put in a trailer van, and it's portable. So it's moved to different places for demonstration purposes or training purposes. Ours will not be, it's gonna be fixed within the district.
What action does the board have to
Let's accept the donation. To go ahead and move forward with it. The plans of accepting the donation.
do? You want that at the next board meeting?
Please.
So, any other questions?
Well, if you can just explain, one of the things that we have to do is the rewriting the bylaws to allow broader participation.
Okay, at our last board meeting, one of the things that we had decided as a board was to, pardon me, to examine our bylaws and to re-update them. There are a few things, as I say, glitches in there.
Just too restrictive.
Yeah, it basically said that the person had to live within the district in order to be on our foundation board. And one of the things we thought might not be appropriate is to have somebody who has a business, you know, in Jersey Shore and is actively within the community but yet lives outside of the district, that we might want to include them on our board, along with a few other things. I can't even remember all of the things off the top of my head. Wrote them down, but I have the memory of a gnat, so if I don't have it in front of me, I don't remember all of it.
The other thing was an alum that no longer lives in the district.
Yeah. So, any other questions, comments? So that's what we are seeking, is approval to purchase and to donate this piece of equipment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you're really good at it, we might have a job for you.
I'm sorry?
If you're really good at it, when you try it out, we might have a job for you.
I highly doubt that. My husband won't even let me on the tractor.
All right, up next, the Peru trip, and Mr. Bressler and Ms. Yorks.
Good evening. My name is Deborah Bressler, and I have been with the school district 31 years. I've been teaching Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. This is my coworker and colleague, Sarah Yorks. I've been teaching Spanish 1 and 2 this year, and this will be my 4th time taking a trip with EF. And I have traveled since 2015. We normally take a trip abroad every 2 years. German also takes a trip every 2 years as well. Okay.
So I'm Sarah Yorks. I'm a first-year teacher. My first year at JSASD, obviously. I do teach Spanish 2, 3, 4, and AP. Obviously, it will be my first time chaperoning, as I am a first-year teacher. But I did travel with the tour in 2015 when I was a senior here at Jersey Shore.
Yes, she was a very good traveler. Anyway, for our proposed trip this coming 2021, we'll be in Peru, the land of the Incas, and It'll basically be, it's listed as a 9-day tour, but really 2 of those are flights to get there. So day 1 would be traveling, then we'll be landing, we'll probably be flying out of Pittsburgh and probably have a connecting flight, but then get into Peru. Usually we hit the ground running, and the minute that we get our stuff through customs, our luggage and things like that, board the bus, usually we start a tour right away. And that's basically kind of like it overcomes travel issues and things like that, jet lag. And if you keep on going and get your clock reset, a lot of times that's helpful. So this is going to be July of 2021. So we're about 500 and odd days from our trip. Basically, when we're working with EF, we have to be a little bit flexible. Basically, they give us a possible leave date and a possible return date. And it's gonna be somewhere within that window. We will not know the actual dates until about 110 days out. So it's a possibility that we'll go as early as Saturday, July 3rd, and come back as late as July 19th. So that 9-day tour will fit somewhere in that window.
And this is so we can get the best prices on flights.
Yes, EF goes through the major airlines, and they haggle deals and try to get the best price for student tours, and this is geared towards students. Adults do come along, which we'll talk about later, but it's basically geared towards students. EF has been in business for about 50 years, taking students abroad. They are well renowned in the travel industry with students. They encompass about 500 schools and offices in 53 countries, including Peru. It's accredited, just like a school. They have to go through certain things in order to be accredited, and they guarantee the lowest price that we can do. Safety, EF provides our group with 24/7 tour director. The minute that they pick us up at the airport, he or she is with us at 24/7. And they have a local presence that they have basically offices that maneuver and manage the area. There is a 24-hour emergency line that all students and travelers get on there. They give out wristbands that they're to wear the whole time that they're on the trip, just in case there is something that is of urgent need, that they have the number in order to call. There's a peace of mind policy that says that they will not take us to any place that it would endanger our safety. And they also have my concerns with what I'm considering. Our last trip, we went to Costa Rica, and we were supposed to go to Nicaragua. During that time, there were some protests, and not really instability, but the protests. EF said, "You're not going to Nicaragua. Pick another tour." So we stayed within Costa Rica, had an amazing time. Someday maybe we'll get to Nicaragua, but right now it wasn't considered to be safe. The other thing too is the previous, not this past Costa Rica trip, but the previous one, we ended up having an issue with the electricity grid. The electricity grid collapsed between Mexico and Panama. We had no power. Nobody did with those countries. So that's 7 countries that had no power for a while. We were basically, our tour director, he was on the phone. We had updates every hour. He would pull us together saying, "This is what we know, this is what's happening." And he said, we'll do that. He made arrangements that if we needed to, we had a place to stay, or the hotel would cover us, and anything else that we did. As it turned out, he did take us to the airport. We were an hour late getting there because he was in touch with the airport the whole time. But anyway, they decided that they were going to fly out. They were capable to do that. And we flew out. We made our connecting flight in Atlanta. Everybody was safe and sound. But what I appreciated was that he was in contact with EF. he was in contact with us, and, you know, and it also, they are in contact with parents if necessary. They have a, you know, basically our contact information and also for that. Group travel, basically this is, we probably will not be traveling with just Jersey Shore High School, although we did actually have a private tour, the Costa Rica trip last summer. It was unintentional. We got a private tour for group travel price, which was pretty awesome. We had our own private limo van, I guess you could say, and it was very nice. I don't expect that again, but it was very nice that they had that. This allows more students to see the world, and also it makes lasting friendships.
I will say in 2015 when I went, there were people on a trip from Virginia and I think Montana, Wisconsin, out there. And I still actually keep in contact with some of them through Facebook, some of the kids that I met on that trip. So it's a really nice experience to share with other students from other places around the country.
And might I say, Jersey Shore rocks. One of the things that they have is that our group, especially with hers, because there were two other schools, our kids basically invited the other schools to, you know, for pickup games in soccer and say, hey, do you want to go to here or whatever and stuff like that. And before, where you had, you know, this school at the front of the bus, this school at the middle of the bus, and the other school at the back of the bus, at the end of the trip, we didn't know where our group was. They were interspersed, they were sitting with each other, and it was really pretty neat. And our Jersey Shore was amazing. Educational resources, I have not had any students take advantage of this. I don't know how the high school credit would work, whether Jersey Shore would do this, but they do college credit. But I do offer it to my students. They do have a college that they work through, and they could get credits if they so desired. But my students so far, they want to be free and not be stressed by also fulfilling college credit at this time. They want to experience rather than basically do college work at this time. But I will tell you that it is an education. And one of the things that they can do is put this on college applications. They can use it for their essay if they so choose, to say maybe what an impact they did. But it's called the Uncommon App, and that is available to them. So that is one of the things. Our itinerary, we're going to be flying into Lima, Peru. Lima is on the Pacific side of Peru in South America. Then we're going to be flying to Cusco, the Sacred Valley, and Machu Picchu. There is a optional tour to the Amazon Lodge, but I thought, well, we talked about it and we decided that we weren't interested in this at this time. Lima and Cusco, Machu Picchu, and the Sacred Valley all are very important areas, especially for the Inca Empire, and there's a lot of ruins and antiquities that are located in these things, and from pre-Columbian, before the Europeans arrived there, to post-Columbian, when you have Pizarro was involved in exploring the region and different things like that. But anyway, there's handicrafts, tours through the colonial architecture, Machu Picchu, which is the ruins of the Incas, and different sites that I'm looking forward to going to see. So we have some different things there, llamas. Okay, and we're going to be looking at a weaving demonstration. Maybe some of us will be trying our hand at that. That'll be interesting. Okay, so we're going to be touring Machu Picchu, visit the Lorca Herrera Museum, which is dealing with a collection of pre-Columbian pottery and artifacts. Visit the San Francisco Monastery, which actually currently houses the Archbishop of the Catholic Church located in that area. Miraflores is basically the Park Avenue of Lima. Very high-end residential area and shopping. I don't expect to pay too much there. Weaving demonstration, walking tour of local market, and we're going to be competing in a scavenger hunt where the students have to use their Spanish. I will tell you that not all, you don't have to know Spanish in order to go to the trip. The tour will be conducted in English. However, they are encouraged to use their Spanish. When we were in Costa Rica, I was amazed at how bold my students were in trying their hand at speaking Spanish to the locals. It was really neat. So it's more than itinerary. They said that it has basically impacted their lives through student travel. I myself have been to about 15 countries and have enjoyed every one of them. It's amazing. So they expand their knowledge of the world around them, discovered more about themselves, grew more confident and independent, and that includes the tour director and the chaperone. I jumped off a rock, which I never thought I'd ever do, and understood more about new people and places and cultures, which is one of the reasons, my main reason is for taking students on tours. What's included? They have one price. It's air trip, round trip airfare, state quality hotel rooms. They're normally not like the Marriott or something like that. They usually do mom and, I don't want to say this derogatorily, but it's mom and pop hotels that they support and encourage the economy. And I think they are hotels that I would stay at with my family. 24/7 bilingual tour director, on-tour transportation, all ground, air, everything that we need. Educational itinerary, guided tours and activities, which includes entrance fees and stuff like that. Breakfast and dinner daily. 24/7 on-tour assistance, and again, they have the number that they wear. Traveler support team, and a tour donation page that they are able to, if they would prefer to, instead of a birthday present, if they ask their relatives if they would prefer to donate towards their trip, they have a donation page that's set up for them. And it's We Share online education platform if they choose to do that. This is Beyond Common College app. They get a travel backpack, which is actually nice quality. Global Travel Protection Plan means that if they have issues, or maybe sometimes they might get sick or something like that, things that a traveler themselves would cover but not included would be their passport and their visa fees. There is no visa fees, but there is a passport requirement, and that's actually more to get us back into the United States than it is to get to other countries. Airport baggage fees. Some airports, or some airlines are now charging for a luggage that you carry on. Spending money, and that is up to the individual. If you are a spender, then take more money. If you're not, you don't have to take as much. Lunches and snacks, and tips. Tips are collected before we leave, so because it's basically, they have a standard way of doing things. They have there, and college kind of, if they choose to go that route. Anyways, the students had to take do a $95 deposit. That is non-refundable, but anyways, it secures. One of the things I like about EF is that you can do a payment plan. And this is one of the reasons why I started so early, is because if a student didn't want to go, but their family finances could not say, okay, here's a couple $1,000, do now. They could do that, and it started out in October. If they started, it was $89 basically a week. Or you could set it up that's $178 a month, but it's basically $3,645 in full. But if they did it back in October, they knocked off $200. So it's actually $3,445. All right, and you can set up a donation page. Okay, we are having 10 travelers right now that are students and 4 adults, which includes the 2 of us, that are also going to be traveling. So they pay also an extra thing. Okay, anyway, that's our hope to do it in summer of 2021. Is there any questions that I can hopefully answer?
How often do you do these kind of?
Every 2 years.
Does the German group go the off years of you guys?
We, actually, Mr. Newshaper messed that up.
Yeah.
Okay, he took a year off, and he will actually be doing his also in 2021. But we were doing it alternate years, but he messed us up, so.
And this is more of a logistical thing, because I was just looking at the policy where you're illustrated that the board has to approve this. Did you already get this approved, or you're asking for this?
This is a new trip, so, yeah, this is, yeah.
It sounds like the sooner we get the approval, the better, because we already have kids saving money for this. So. There's the gem. All right. We already talked about the girls on run for the elementary level, so Mrs. C. Graves is going to talk about the dual enrollment opportunity with Lackawanna College.
Good evening. Jersey Shore High School has the opportunity to partner with Lackawanna College to offer new dual enrollment programs to students at Jersey Shore High School. Currently, the high school offers dual enrollment programs through PC Now, Pennsylvania College of Technology. Due to changes at the end for Penn College, they have removed classes that are available to students that we currently host. So next year, students are not going to be able to receive credit through Penn College in certain classes, so we reached out to other colleges in the area and selected through meetings Lackawanna College to present to you guys as a partner. Dual enrollment programs for students in general have been shown to help students develop skills to allow them to be more successful in college or the workforce if they do not take their credits to a college upon graduation. Dual enrollment programs also reduce graduation times for students as they progress to college, can decrease student debt loads, and open up opportunities for students to earn advanced degrees at college at a faster pace. So students could perchance graduate from college with a master's degree in 5 years instead of 6 when they're able to go to college with credits that they earn in high school. So, specifically what Jersey Shore High School is looking to offer at this point in time is Principles of Accounting, which we get Accounting 105, and Introduction to Computer Applications, or CIS 105. Through the partnership with Lackawanna College, we'll offer our students these 2 classes, both of which Penn College recently ended. Students would be juniors and seniors in the Accounting 2 or the CIS class. That would be the classes that correspond. They complete registration through Lackawanna College representation. Right now, our guidance department is responsible for doing everything for Penn College, and our guidance department will not do anything. Lackawanna College does it all. There is no placement testing for the high school students. We will use our high school curriculum and text. The way this works with Lackawanna is we present them with our materials and the teacher credentials, and they match them up with their courses and say yes or no. So Lackawanna has already told us that these 2 classes, Accounting 2 and our Computer Application class, match up with their curriculum and that our teachers are qualified to teach them and our course materials would work. Each class is 3 credits, which does cost $100 for the students. However, if a student doesn't want the college credit, they can still take the Accounting 2 class, they just don't pay the $300. And they don't have to go through the application process or any of that. So they can be blended classes where it's the high school students earning credit and high school students that are not earning credit. They also allows the students, to, particularly if they are seniors, to consider the college that they have been accepted to or the college they're applying to. And if that credit will not transfer, then they wouldn't pay for the credit at that particular point in time. The benefits for the students is an 80% on savings tuition. Essentially, they're getting 3 college credits for $300, which would generally run you $1,500 or more. At Lackawanna College, which is a community college, their credits are $500 and $520 a piece, and they're only charging $100. Depending on where you go to school, it's generally significantly more. So that's 80% savings for Lackawanna College. But another benefit for students is if they don't go to Lackawanna College, Lackawanna has a partnership through the Academic Passport Program. And what that is, it's a partnership with the colleges, the 14 colleges that are in the Pennsylvania State Higher Education Association, as well as numerous other colleges, where the credit transfers as that course. Sometimes what students will run into in high school that take a dual enrollment class is, let's just say I'm currently taking the English 111 class through PC Now, but I go to a college that's only going to count that as an elective, it's not an English class. Through the partnership that Lackawanna has with these institutions of higher education in the state of Pennsylvania, the class transfers as a class. So accounting will be accounting, CIS will be CIS. There's also potential to add classes as we start this partnership and as we continue this partnership. And again, there is no cost to the district in any of that. That's it. Any questions?
So you're saying about transferring classes,
Yes.
so the kids will receive an actual transcript from Lackawanna County?
Correct. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
So with this one, we would need an MOU with Lackawanna College.
And Ken, you have the
That's it.
contract and all that stuff.
This would be very similar to the Penn College courses in regards to how it would work and everything, so it's not new ground for us or anything, it's just a change of who's offering the service. There are a few things I have to look into, just logistical type stuff, and then when do we need to inform them as the Seagraves?
Well, as soon as possible. It's already approved at Lackawanna's end. They've already basically agreed to it. So I shared with Dr. Dady a copy of the contract, which was actually signed by Lackawanna already.
So what we can do is I can have it on the next board meeting. There's just a legal part of it that we'll probably have to talk about tonight. The other things on here, the technology scholarship, the best way that I can explain this is that Slater Harrison, for those of you that remember him as a teacher, he was a teacher at the middle school, I know, for years, and he had received a donation that he basically passed on to the school district. The donation, he asked that it go towards a scholarship, a one-time scholarship. And I'm just going to explain to you what happened. According to Slater, this was quite a few years ago, and he gave it to someone at the high school, and anyway, we got notification from the PA Treasury that, okay, check was never cashed, nothing like that. Slater doesn't remember who he gave it to, because it was that long ago. So basically, they're still willing to give us the check, they just need they basically need correspondence from us on district letterhead requesting that the check be written directly to the school district. That way it'll come to us rather than Slater, and we can make sure that it goes into place. Now, they already did fill out a scholarship fund establishment for us, which is one of the things that we would need. And the amount is $4,576.60. It's a one-time contribution. The scholarship is to be awarded, the annual amount would be $1,000 until the money is gone, it looks like. Use principal to pay it says use the principal to pay the award if the interest is not enough. And Mr. Wheeland is the one, it looks like he would be the one to select the senior that would get the scholarship through that program, because that's just part of identified who should select the student. So as long as everybody's okay with that, I'm going to send them this letter, and then you can accept all this at the next meeting. All right? The next part is actually just a change that I really need you guys to be aware of. Hold on, I'm a man, I can't do two things at once, so I need to write this down. Alright. In the past quite a few years, we've used what's basically called the mobile dentist group to offer some dental services and sealants to families that don't have dental care in our community. We're going to continue to offer that, but I have a letter of agreement here with the Susquehanna Community Health and Dental Inc. that you'll see for approval at the next meeting as well. And that is just basically, instead of it being mobile dentist, it will be the Susquehanna Community Health and Dental Clinic that will be offering those dental services, and this agreement you'll see attached to the agenda next time is very similar to what we had with the mobile dentist. And then again, just to offer those services to families in our community that don't have dental care for their kids. All right? And policy 805.2, as well as the AR for that, is on here for first read. The other part, and this is more of a question than it is anything else, because I'm not positive which way that you want to do this. I know it's been done in the past that you guys would approve any calendar changes. I don't think I'm going to defer to our solicitor here. You guys already approved the calendar for this year, and the calendar states that if we have a snow day before February 14th, that February 14th would become the snow makeup day, and the marking period would basically just move. Now in our case, what happens is as far as the students are concerned, nothing really changes for them. Currently, the end of the marking period was January 17th. Because January 20th is an Act 80 day, which counts as a student day, that becomes the end of the marking period. Students aren't going to be here that day, so as far as students are concerned, their last day of the marking period is still the 17th. It's just that the beginning of the marking period doesn't start till the 21st now, and the end of the marking period for marking period 3 stays the same because the makeup day is before the marking period ends. So if you followed all that, all I need to know is, do you want to see that new calendar before I put it out? But you've already approved it, and it says on the calendar that that's what's going to happen. So I don't think they need to reapprove it if they don't want to. I think the only time that you would is if we change to what the calendar says. So as long as everyone is okay, I will post the new calendar tomorrow due to the snow day that occurred. Are we good with that? Alright. And that's what will happen. And again, February 14th will be our snow makeup day, so just happens to be Valentine's Day as well. Sorry, but you gotta go to school. Alright, that is it for the superintendent's report.
Need an executive session, maybe?
Not till the end.
Okay.
Not unless there's any questions about any of these personnel items. I don't believe there is.
I do have some questions.
About some of the personnel items?
You have a request.
Okay, we'll go into executive session to
About personnel?
questions, yep, for personnel.
There it is. If you're not going to take your mic off, please remember to turn them off.
Okay, board is back in session. With courtesy of the floor regarding items on the agenda for this evening. Nobody has signed up and nobody has changed their mind or decided to speak. And we have a presentation after the meeting tonight from PSBA that will be done in executive session. So for expediting the agenda, I'd also offer for anyone who wants to speak on any item that's not on the agenda to also go up to the podium and speak in courtesy floor, and I will combine the two together. Unless anybody has an objection to that.
Be to you and Merle about the only ones here. If there's anything you guys want to say.
Never mind.
Discretion is a better part of valor.
Always appreciate your humor.
Okay, so we'll pass on courtesy to the floor and we'll go on to personnel agenda D. There's been a request to address item A and item N separately. Could I have a motion to approve B through L and N through S?
So moved. Second.
Who said?
I second.
N through S.
Any discussion on those agenda items? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now we'll address item A, which is the approval of a network computer technician job description. Could I have a motion to approve the description?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion on item A?
I would do,
Yep.
I would like to have it, do I make a motion to have it removed or just, I'd like to have it taken out of the Act 93 group in the description.
So to amend the description
Yes.
to not include it under Act 93.
Right.
Did you make a motion on that?
Well, we already have one motion. so-
Yeah, I was gonna say, as long as Mary will amend her existing.
No, I won't.
Okay? Any other discussion on the job description?
Well, what was the motion made to approve A as it is?
To approve A as is, correct, Mrs. Thomas?
We have a roll call vote on that then?
Yes. A roll call vote to approve item A as written.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Berngard,
No?
Mrs. Dobler,
No.
Mrs. Grant,
Yes.
Mr. Kinley,
No.
Mrs. Petrowski,
No.
Mrs. Stemler,
No.
Mrs. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Allen.
No.
Motion failed, 3-5.
No, and I think now you can make your motion.
Oh, I make a motion. It's not personal, right?
I don't think in the same meeting. We just voted this
We
down.
have to wait for
We have to wait till the next
Yeah,
meeting.
You have to wait for the next meeting. Okay, so A is voted down. Item M, appointment of Bridget Carmici to 8th grade ELA position, step M1, with current teacher agreement. Salary is $50,000 prorated for the remainder of the school year. Effective date, January 14th. You have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Any discussion on that item? Hearing no discussion, I'll do a roll call vote on that again, Mr. Andrews.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Berngard,
Yes?
Mrs. Dobler,
No.
Mrs. Grant,
Yes.
Mr. Kinley,
Yes.
Mrs. Petrowski,
No.
Mrs. Stemler,
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-2.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Okay, moving on to curriculum instruction. Addition of 2 new high school elective courses. These were presented a couple meetings ago by our high school principal. It would be a introduction to statistics class for grades 11 and 12, and a guitar class for grades 9 through 12, beginning second semester of 1920.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion?
I actually have a question. Is the intent with adding these 2 electives to eliminate study hall? That is how I understood the November 25th presentation.
Mr. King?
Yes.
I think that would be one of the benefits, yes.
And provide opportunity for credit for students that don't want to sit in the study hall.
So speaking with some of the parents that the children are involved in extracurricular activities and utilize the study hall, they won't have it as an option anymore at all?
Oh, yeah, this was.
There'll still be study halls.
That's my question.
Just an opportunity for students that don't want to be in a study hall.
Okay, thank you.
Another class for them.
I have a question. Does the stats class count toward math credits toward graduation, or is it strictly a stats elective?
Elective.
Just elective.
And I thought we had that course before, but. The guitars, how's that happening? What's happening there? They have to have their own, what's the deal on that? Because I heard Mrs. Gasparini say about that they were asked to help provide funding.
For this semester, the student's going to bring their own guitars, so they can have a class.
So that'll give you an idea of what the demand is.
Yes.
Before we go out and purchase.
Correct.
There are guitars, they're pretty standard and basic. There are some guitars at the middle school though because it's one of the things I think that I know that Nick or Chris did at the middle school with some of the kids. Are they still there? So I mean, if a student absolutely wanted to take a class and needed a guitar, it's not like there's not one that we couldn't find.
They are currently in use.
There's also one in my office.
Any other questions on item number, or letter A? Okay, no further questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item is building and grounds. And this is just to approve the items that were put out on a municipal bid. It's easy for me to say. And the amount listed below, there was a CNC machine for $1,151 and a 1995 Chevy truck for $500. Motion approved.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on those 2 items? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. I believe that's the last item on our agenda. At this time, the board will adjourn into executive session for legal and personnel, and there will be no further action conducted when we return to the public.